buying them for a while. Like after the 64, I stopped buying them for a while because I got annoyed with every time they came up with a new console, there was a new game format. Like their cartridges, their mini cartridges, they're slightly bigger cartridges, they're smaller cartridges, their discs, they're mini discs. So every time you bought a new console, you either had to keep your old console up and running as well, or you had to go out and rebuy the games.
See, the Wii U was retroactive.
So was the Wii.
Not. Right.
Yeah. So I mean, they finally they got smart about it, but I don't know if the Switch is.
It's not.
Of course not.
And then the last one is the one we'll never get our hands on is the SNES retro. Because wasn't that the big thing last Christmas? You still can't get your hands on
but
those?
You can pre-order them directly from Nintendo. You don't have to go through a store for these. You can, but you can pre-order them directly from Nintendo.
Can I just order on Amazon and just make my...
And just have it show up at my house?
Oh my God.
It's coming out September 29th.
Speaking of which...
What?
Shipped saved my life Saturday. I need to talk about this.
Last night a DJ saved your life?
Yes, totally. So you've thrown we all thrown parties before, and what's the worst thing? Having to go buy the pop and the water and the ice and all of the stuff.
Right.
I ordered it all from Shipped and had it delivered to the hall we were having the party at. And I tipped $20 and I asked if they could put it all on the bar, and I have to touch a damn thing. It was the most beautiful.
Why do I not do that for here?
I don't know.
I ding.
Don't go to the store no more. And she was so thankful. I said, I got $20 to put everything in the bar. And she said, oh my God. She goes, I don't even care if you tip me because I've already lost 8 pounds doing this in 2 weeks. I cut my gym membership because I'm so I don't mind. I go, you got the worst order ever. You got 42 liters,
right.
And all this ice. She goes, I love it. This is my gym time. And I get paid for it.
Awesome.
Saved my life though. I'm like, oh my God, so good. And I got
you would have not been happy.
No, I would have not been happy. And then I had a Qdoba deliver. I mean, it's turning into an amazing world right now. I don't have to touch a damn thing.
You know where you don't want to touch a damn thing right now? Arizona.
No.
Apparently the normal temperatures this week are in excess of 110 degrees to the point where people have started posting things that are having issues with the heat.
Trash cans melting.
All the things.
Mailboxes melting. I love that the one guy had a picture. Oh yeah, my neighbor put in this plastic wall. It looked like a fake stone wall. Melted. Street signs. Melting.
I love the cookies in the dashboard.
People baking cookies on their dashboard in an hour. That's
Is this
ridiculous.
breaking news? It's hot in Arizona.
I think it's excessively hot. I mean, it's even for there.
Well,
it's really hot. But it's a dry heat. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So's an oven.
Right. But I love it. The global warming's real. I'm like, 1990 was the worst year. That was 120 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, I love the guy driving with the oven mitts.
Right,
because his steering wheel was too hot.
And
then this one, I knew this part was going to freak you out. It was too hot for planes to fly.
That's nuts.
It's literally the air is too warm.
It's like the tires sticking to the asphalt, like my sandals.
It's literally too hot for Bernoulli's principle to work. Like the air.
No, but I thought they
can't
have
do
longer run. I read that. I thought they had longer runways in Arizona.
Not long enough.
Because in Mexico City they have the longest runway because of the elevation.
Well, but that's why. But it's still too hot for planes to take off.
Dude,
they're canceling flights because hot.
Yeah. So an interesting thing came out today, and I don't know if we're gonna argue about this or if you're on my side with this, is the Walmart thing. And it's kind of bananas. It's one thing, and Walmart has a very long history of trashing on their vendors, like Vlasic, Rubbermaid, almost destroying companies. So now...
I wouldn't necessarily call it trashing on. I would call it enforcing predatory
almost putting them out of business
rules.
because they wanted the $3 pickle jars, the most famous case study. They wanted a big, huge bucket of pickles.
And Vlasic, at the edge of bankruptcy, finally went F you.
Yeah. Rubbermaid too was the same. Was the same thing. But now Walmart's got I'm going to flat out say it, they got the balls to tell their vendors that they shouldn't be hosting.
No, they shouldn't be. That they cannot be
on AWS.
Yeah,
flat out. So if I'm Vlasic and I just put my infrastructure, whatever it be, in AWS, if I want to do business with Walmart, I got to move everything to Azure.
I wonder how much of a kickback they're getting from Microsoft.
Do you think See, that just changes the whole thing for me. Microsoft is sitting there going, why would you have your vendor? Is it ever going to get to a point where vendors are just going to say it's not worth it to do business with you?
God, I hope so.
For real.
I really, really do. God, I hope so.
I haven't heard as many bad stories. This is the first one that's come out in a while because the last couple of years it's all been about not
workers
paying people.
and the part-time. Yeah.
But this one, like Puma, Adidas, whatever, and it's like, hey, you got to use Azure. Like,
nope.
I just spent how much? Like,
and what do you care what my web service is that you call?
On. Yeah.
What do you care?
Like, you don't have to go
What's
to my
next?
portals.
I can't buy Dell. I got to buy HP. You're going to tell me what I can drive back and forth to work?
Right.
But, yeah.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah. No.
It's like a slow roll rant ready on this one. The Godfather. No, for real though. Like, you can't dictate. Yeah, right. Like, your guys have Apple laptops. Like, I'm not doing business with you.
Yeah.
What?
No, stupid.
Totally.
So the next dumb one though so Iowa is apparently the last remaining bastion of the landline, and the local telco out there has decided that for their DSL customers, because everybody if you can't get cable, you got to get DSL. If you do not want a landline, you must pay them $80 to not have a landline.
So here's where I come into play on this because this was my business in 2004. So
That's great. That's 13 years ago.
Listen though, not too many people realize these things exist. They're called ILECs.
Yep.
They're small pockets they're either small counties or small cities. There's like 17 of them in Michigan. Iowa's got a bunch. They all got a bunch. Ogden, I recognized from doing business with them, which is the phone company you're talking about in Iowa. They're basic. They're farmer owned, cooperative, in essence, monopolies.
Yeah.
Verizon's not in there. AT&T's not in there. Comcast isn't in there.
It's like 14 people. So why?
Well, it's a town. I mean, they
more than 14.
Yeah. I mean, some of them were 30,000 lines. Some of them were like 5,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not awful sized. But for them to dictate, if you don't have a landline, you're getting charged $80. They're going to get their building lit on fire.
Yeah, probably. There's going to be a farmer's revolution.
No, but seriously, or they're going to find out a way not to use them. Because that's the thing with them owning that monopoly. The city managers are going to, hey, Verizon, can you put it,
please come.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
please come down. So a couple things from the world of entertainment and media. So one, everybody saw the news that Ron Howard has taken the helm of the Han Solo movie.
After reading everything, thank God.
Well, because I think that was one of the it was like early in the week that the first link for this got shot out with it was just Ron Howard taking over because of the disaster with the directors and stuff, people that were on staff. But then you read the stuff about how the actor is so bad that they brought in an acting coach.
Yeah.
That's a no good.
Well, the thing is, you bring in two directors that claim to fame are 21 Jump Street and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, and apparently they wanted to turn this into a Chips yuck affair. And as soon as they announced they're getting fired, and these clowns, I guess, didn't want to start work until noon. Like they took disco naps because they're all getting wasted. And usually you'd have like 6-7 shots by noon, And apparently there was this huge applause when they said, these clowns are out, Ron Howard's in, place went bananas.
Right. Well, it's, for people that, don't remember the history there, you've got the little tie. I mean, even though he's not really around anymore, you've got George Lucas, with Ron Howard and American Graffiti and now moving forward into Star Wars.
It's not just that. Ron Howard was the guy that came to the defense of Jake Lloyd when everybody was trash.
Who apparently just got transferred to a mental hospital. I don't know if you saw that story that just came out today.
Oh, great.
He's apparently still not doing well at all.
Annie?
Yeah. Andy, are you okay? No, he's not.
And you know what? So Campbell's
that's the
just overtook Wendy's and Taco Bell's, my favorite social media team. So I don't know if you follow this or not, Sola. Campbell's put out a little commercial with two dads, like
Star Wars themed.
Star Wars, like my two dads doing like Chewbacca and Darth Vader voices, feeding the kids soup.
Oh yeah, because the one dad gives him a spoonful of soup and says, "I am your father," and then the other dad goes, "Oh, I am your father."
Right.
And apparently this annoyed people.
So like people are going off on Campbell's Kitchen, going like Campbell, like the Facebook page. I'm so sick of this homosexual agenda. You sell soup. Please take this ad down, or you'll not have a company anymore.
I saw that.
So like,
Yeah.
Campbell's just went savage, and it's just like, you know, somehow you mistook two men feeding their kids soup as pornographic. Like, it's quite a leap. What are you thinking? And really, they went
all in,
savage without
And
reading all these things.
Stuff like that makes me so happy when companies actually use their voice to not play that customer is always right
And not apologize for.
and don't back down and just basically tell people exactly what effing morons
Here's a great
they
line.
are.
They basically said, hey, we were under the impression the advert was just a video of a loving family, which it obviously was. And he said there was no signs of flashing lights, although I personally suggested flashing lights and a rainbow would have been fabulous, suggesting it would have been something other than a family. We're not taking the advert down. You know, our dads trained way too long to perfect those Darth Vader and Chewbacca impersonations, right? They're just like, own it. Like, again,
Yeah.
like I said that like back when like Kathy Griffin, if you're going to do something that's stupid,
Own it.
own it.
Yeah.
Just go down with your shit.
You know what? I thought it was going to be hilarious. In my head,
Right.
it was amazing.
Here's my foot in my mouth.
Right.
I'm not going to say
It
I'm
just didn't
sorry
work
because I
out that way.
tried
Yeah.
and it failed miserably. But like this, like, thank you, Campbell's, like you know, for owning this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to buy. What am I going to buy if I can't buy Campbell's anymore?
But it's like it's the same thing that happened when they started featuring interracial couples, you know, in commercials.
Yep.
And there was this big backlash.
Was it?
And
It was a breakfast cereal that did that.
it was one of them. Yeah. I think it was I think it
Yep.
was.
It wasn't like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Was it Honey
with their
Nut
with their
Cheerios
low
or-
cholesterol? Yeah.
And that got a lot of backlash.
See, here's my
People
thing.
were very uncomfortable with it.
300 million people in this country. There's nothing that's not going to piss off 5 people. There's nothing you can do
Right.
that 5
Or
people
500,000.
aren't going to tweet it out, and then BuzzFeed now picks up these 5 tweets and goes, people are offended by
Millions outraged.
right by unicorn frap at Starbucks. Unicorn lovers are offended. The use of
They're making fraps out of unicorns.
right. Like, I think it just gotten to that point where people are just going to. 5 of them are going to. People don't suck. There's just 5 people in every category that's going to hate life.
But do you guys go into the comments? Do you deep dive into
They're
the
awful.
comments? Oh my God! And sometimes there's hundreds of them.
Oh, it's the
So we're
Mos
not talking
Eisley
about 5
Cantina.
people.
It's the most. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy than like Freep, Detroit News,
Absolutely.
CNN story comments ever.
And the worst ones are the ones without the real picture. They always have like the fake.
It's the
name.
Twitter egg.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Trolling.
right.
Yep.
And I think they, you know, and it's funny because Freep comments anything that's political. There's one guy who posts on 3 times on every single one. Like, do you have a job? Like, are you winning? Like, what do you do? Like, is this like
What need is this fulfilling in your life to post these comments?
arg this political party?
Rabble.
Right. Hopefully, I changed 3. Like, no, because there's people on Reddit.
Nobody's mind has ever been changed by a Facebook post.
No, but I've seen people on Reddit type that it does influence people. Like what I'm writing matters because I might influence one person in rural South Dakota to think like me, and it's worth it. And good luck with that.
Because the Jedi mind trick only works on weak-minded fools.
Right, but I'm not a stormtrooper for crying out loud.
So the creepy one, though, actually there were 2 creepy ones that I want to make sure we hit real quick. Google
Maps.
Well, no, 2 are Google. So actually, 2. I'll start with the Facebook one. So Facebook, we've talked about this for like 2 years now. That stupid, annoying pop-up that always came up. Hey, Bob's nearby. You should get coffee.
Stacy Kahn was at my kid's party and it said Stacy's nearby. I got a push notification.
Okay, well, turn off nearby friends because that's why that does that.
I know.
We've been telling people
Yeah, I
that
know.
for 2 years, and
Sorry.
you still haven't done that.
Doesn't bother me.
Whatever. Google has finally announced, hey, you know what? When medical records from hospitals and et cetera get breached, we're going to go ahead and keep those out of search results.
And
That's awfully nice of them.
My first thought was they were in search results.
Yes.
Like my
Yes, they
private
were.
medical records were in search results.
Well, so you think about it. So place gets breached.
Right.
Somebody grabs dump.
Right.
Posts dump somewhere on internet. that then gets linked to by Google. Dude, the spiders don't know. Bots are bots. They just go, okay, new content, and then put it in the database.
And then they just announced to everyone that your stuff might have been public.
Your stuff might have been there for a while, yeah. So that'll be amazing. But yeah, the last one.
I don't like this one.
The last one kind of creeped me out a little bit.
I don't like this one at all.
So